Darcy, did you see you standing by yourself in such a stupid manner? You much better dance.
You know how I detest it unless I'm particularly acquainted with my partner. Your sister is engaged, and there's not a woman who would not be punishment for myself to stand up with.
I would not be so fastidious you are for a kingdom. I have never met with so many pleasant girls and so many uncommonly pretty.
Your partner, the eldest Miss Bennett, is the only handsome girl in the room.
Indeed, the most beautiful creature I've ever laid my eyes upon, but there is her sister just there, who I dare say is quite agreeable. And I'm going to ask my partner to introduce you.
She is tolerable, but that is insufficient to tempt me. Pray return to Miss Bennett, you're wasting your time with me.
Mr. Darcy's fancy. He is a disagreeable, horrid man.
But tall, my dear. Tolerably tall.
You never see a fault in anybody. I swear, Jane, that I have never heard you speak in the way you speak in my life. I don't know, I should be hastily censoring anyone.
That Mr. Darcy's so high and conceited. There's no enduring him. Lizzie, not handsome enough to dance with. Oh, I quite detest the man.
I always speak the truth. With your good sense, to be so honestly blind to the follies and nonsense of others.
Miss Bennett, why don't you consider a stroll about the room?
We did a short look at one morning of the family with whom we were particularly intimate.
Sir William Lucas, formerly of the trade of marriage, had made a terrible fortune and risen to the honor of knighthood.
And gives 2 boys.
Lady Lucas is a good woman, but not too clever, which I find restful.
And their daughter Charlotte is my particular friend. Really, an assembly ball is a paradise to me.
Occupied as you are in observing Mr. Bingley's attentions toward your sister, I do not think that you suspect that you yourself have become, shall I say, an object of interest.
Indeed? Where?
Welcome, ladies and gents, to my hearth and home. What more charming amusement than for young people to dance, eh? I consider what the first refinements of our society.
Any savage can dance, sir.
With indeed.
Do you not notice that Mr. Darcy is always on the fringes of your conversation?
Miss Lord told me last night that he sat close to her for half an hour without once opening his lips.
Miss Bingley told me he never speaks unless among his most intimate acquaintances.
You waste the ball in idle chatter.
Note him. He has an extremely critical eye.
I do not begin by being impertinent myself. I shall soon grow acquainted with him. inherited?
With Prejudice. That which is a subject which always makes a lady anything.
My dear Eliza, why are you not dancing? Mr. Darcy, you cannot refuse a dance with such beauty before you.
Indeed, sir. I have not the least intention of dancing. I entreat you not to suppose I moved in this way in order to beg for a partner.
Might I have the honor of your hand to connect, Miss Bennett?
Mr. Darcy thought politeness, but I must deny myself the pleasure.
Miss Bigby,
Mr. Darcy, have you guessed the subject of your reverie?
I should imagine not.
Considering how insupportable it would be to pass many things in such society. Indeed, I'm quite your opinion. Last, I once wore a gown with 12 ribbons and a double rosette! The noise, the nothingness, and yet the self-importance of its people. But I live in the early restrictions on those.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you. I have no hesitation with very great pleasure a pair of fine eyes and face of 3 women to the show.
And pray tell me, who has the grace of inspiring such reflections?
Miss Elizabeth Bennett.
I confess I'm all astonishment. How long has she been such a favorite comparing other traditions?
I expected as much. A lady's imagination is very rapid. It jumps from admiration to love, matrimony in but a moment.
Nay, I shall consider matters absolutely settled. And you'll have the pleasure of always being a family with me.
Mr. Bennett! You must hear what this mysterious fellow was saying!
Miss Bennett, pray forgive even the appearance of unwanted attention that might have requested this reading.
Indeed, is that an honourable request?
The honour, I believe, to you.
It seems that Jane quite admires Mr. Bingley.
Noticeably, I would agree.
Bingley likes her sister, undoubtedly, but he may never do more than like her. She does not help him along.
She does help him along, as much as her nature will allow.
However, Eliza, he does not know Jane's disposition as you do. Though they get together tolerably often, his sister never more than a few hours together. Therefore, Jane should do all that she can to command his attention.
Your plan is a good one, but nothing is in question but the determination to get a rich husband.
It's not Jane's feelings, and she has no such desire.
She takes time. I think to study his character.
Well, I wish her success with all my heart, and if she married him tomorrow, I should think that she had as good a chance of success as if she had studied his character for a whole 12 months. But it's better to know the least amount of the effects of the person with which you are to pass your life.
You make me laugh, Charlotte. But it is not sound that you know full well. You never act in such a way yourself.
You are being watched.
Soon enough, at Longbourn, Jane Hunter
Don't leave me. I have no pleasure in life superior to duty to yours.
Well, he is most attentive. Indeed, he is. You look quite drawn, Jane. I might say it serves you exactly for calling you with mother's advice. Lizzie, how did you get here? The carriage horses were accommodated in the fields, so I walked through the mud.
Through the mud, yes. To walk 3 miles or 4 miles or 5 miles or whatever it is. Above her ankles in mud and alone. Quite alone. What could she mean by it? Seems to me to show an abominable sort of conceited independence and complete indifference to decorum.
It shows an affection for her sister that is quite pleasing.
I have an excessive regard for Jane Bennett, and I wish she were well settled. Who was such a father and mother and such no no connections. I'm afraid there is no chance of it. Their uncle's an Italian emeritus, and another lives somewhere near Cheapside.
If they had enough uncles to fill all of Cheapside, would not make them a jot less agreeable. Ah, Miss Elizabeth, a pleasure. Mrs. Improves, I hope?
She's resting. Though she ought not to be thought unsociable.
Indeed not. I find it singular and intriguingly perfect reading to cards, Miss Bennett.
Miss Eliza Bennett despises cards. She's a great reader with little respect for anything else.
I do not deserve such praise nor such censure. I am not a great reader, and I have pleasure in many things.
In nursing your sister, you have pleasure, I'm sure.
Hear, hear.
Is Miss Darcy much grown since disapproving? How I long to see your darling sister again. Such manners and so accomplished for her age.
It is amazing to me that young ladies can have the patience to be as accomplished as they all are.
All? My dear Charles, what do you mean?
Yes, Caroline, all. I have never heard of a young lady first spoken of without being informed that she is very well accomplished.
I fear I cannot boast of knowing of more than a half dozen, the whole range of my acquaintance who are really accomplished.
Then you comprehend a great deal in your idea of an accomplished woman?
She must have a thorough understanding of music, singing, drawing, dancing, languages, and a certain something in her air and manner, the tone of her voice, her address and expressions, or the word will be but half deserved.
And to all this, she must add something more substantial in the improvement of her mind by extensive reading.
I am no longer surprised at your knowing all these things accomplished women. I reckon now at your knowing any.
I say, sister, may you perhaps take to the pianoforte and favor us with a lively solitaire?
Oh, splendid. And perhaps Miss Bennett will seize the opportunity to show us a fling. Simple seeming, but difficult in execution. Will you essay, Miss Bennett?
Oh, I heard you. You wanted me, I know, to say yes. That you might have the pleasure of despising my taste. But I always delight in cheating a person of their premeditated contempt. I have therefore made up my mind to tell you I do not want to dance a reel at all. And I despise you if you dare.
I'm sorry, Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, you laughed.
The wisest and bestest may be rendered ridiculous by a person whose first object in life is a joke.
Certainly there are such people. But I hope I am not one of them. Have I never ridiculed what is wise and good? Always the nonsense, whims, and inconsistencies due to their me. I only laugh at them whenever I can. But these, I suppose, are precisely what you are about.
Perhaps it is not possible for anyone, but it has been the subject of my life to avoid such weaknesses, which often expose a strong understanding to ridicule.
Such as vanity and pride.
Vanity is a weakness, yes. But pride, where there is a real superiority of mind, pride will always be under good regulation. I have failings enough, but they are not, I hope, of understanding. My temper I dare not vouch for. I believe it to be too little yielding, perhaps resentful. My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
That is a feeling indeed. But you have chosen your fault well. I really cannot laugh at it. You are safe from me.
There is, I believe, in every disposition, a tendency to some particular evil, a natural defect, which even the best education cannot overcome.
And your defect is propensity to hate everybody?
And yours to willfully misunderstand
On Sunday, the carriage was sent, and Jane and Elizabeth returned home. Mama, I fear.
Barely touched his house, Mr. Darcy hardly dying to return. What could possibly be the meaning of it?
Before walking on, we naturally enjoyed Mr. Wickham to pay us a visit.
With great pleasure indeed. I herewith also.
I might title them dances of mortification.
Might I hope for the next, Miss Bennett? Well,
The music is well played, do you not think? It is your turn to say something now, Mr. Darcy. I talked about the dance. Do you want to make some kind of remark of the size of the room or the number of couples?
I can assure you, whatever you wish me to say will be said.
Very well then. That reply will do for the present. Now we may be silent.
Do you talk by the rule when you are dancing?
I have always, Mr. Darcy, seen great similarity in the turn of our minds. We are each of an unsocial tact and disposition. And I need to speak unless we expect to say something that will amaze the whole room and be handed down to posterity, or be a low problem.
This is no very striking resemblance to your character, I'm sure. How near it may be to mine, I cannot pretend to say.
I have recently had the pleasure of forming a new acquaintance with a childhood friend of yours, a Mr. Wickham.
Mr. Wickham is blessed with such happy manners and short is making friends. Whether he is equally capable of retaining them is less certain.
He has been so unlucky as to lose your friendship, and in a manner which he is likely to suffer from all his life.
What think you of books, Miss Elizabeth?
If I'm not talking of books in a ballroom, my head is full of something else. I remember hearing you say, Mr. Darcy, that you hardly ever forgave, that your resentment, once created, was unappeasable. You are very cautious. I suppose as to its being created.
I am.
And then allow yourself to be blinded by prejudice,
Might I ask what these questions tend?
merely to the illustration of your character. I'm trying to make it out.
And what is your success?
I do not condone at all. He has such a different account of you as to puzzle me exceedingly.
I can readily believe that reports may vary greatly with respect to me. But I may wish, Miss Bennett, that you not sketch my character at present, as there is reason to fear that the performance will reflect no credit on either.
Oh, Mr. Darcy, you are, if I am not mistaken, the nephew of my eminent patroness, Lady Catherine Lederer, who has condescended to me a lady at Huntsford Party, thus allowing me to observe what I consider the clerical office is equal in point of dignity to the highest rank of the kingdom, provided that property knows his character is at the same time maintained.
You have neglected your name, sir.
Have I?
You have.
Mr. Collins, sir.
Delighted.
Excellent. Most excellent. He answered me thusly, and upon the whole I am much pleased with him.
Though he neglected his name.
Is he?
So, Miss Eliza, I hear you were quite delighted with George Wickham.
Yes, for as short a time as Mr. Collins' long speeches would allow, all was settled between him and Charlotte Lucas by way of domestic arrangement. And Lizzie feels she accepted him solely from
The pure and disinterested desire of an establishment.
and as Mama said, cared not how the establishment was gained.
Charlotte's marriage is unaccountable and every you unaccountable.
You must not give way to these feelings, Lizzie. It will ruin your happiness.
Engaged to Mr. Collins, my dear Charlotte, impossible!
Why should you be so surprised, my dearest Eliza? Do you think it incredible that Mr. Collins should be able to procure any woman's good opinion because he was not so happy as to succeed with you?
Indeed not, but 2 offers of marriage in 3 days.
Well, I hope that once you have had time to think it over, you might be satisfied for me. I am not a romantic, you know. I never was. You must come visit the parsonage as soon as ever you can.
Now I tell you, Mr. Collins is settled first. Elizabeth, I'm sure, is the cause of all this mischief.
No.
We are in a miserable state. The entitled Charlotte Lucas will be the mistress of this house, and I'll be forced to make way and want to take my place in it.
Let us hope for better things. Let us flatter ourselves that I may be the survivor.
In our view, Mr. Wickham's society was of material service, and his betrayal by Mr. Darcy was general knowledge. We all agreed that
Mr. Darcy was the worst of men.
On the following Monday, the gardeners, my mother's brother, and his wife arrived. He is a sensible, gentleman-like man, and Miss Gardner, always enlivened the premises by distributing presents, describing the newest fashions, and then giving us sage advice.
A young man, such as you describe Mr. Bingley, no easily falls in love with a pretty girl for a few weeks and just as easily forgets her. Now, as to Mr. Wickham, whom you mention far too frequently, I would have you be on your guard.
He shall not be in love with me if I can prevent it.
Do not involve yourself in an affection which the want of fortune makes very imprudent.
At present I am not in love with Mr. Wickham, but I count him as the most agreeable man I ever saw.
Otherwise,
but how can I be wiser than so many of my fellow creatures if I'm tempted? How am I even to know it would be wisdom to resist? All that I can promise you, therefore, is to not be in a hurry.
I say no more. I shall take Jane with me to London, poor girl, as a change of scene might be of service. It had better have happened to you, Lizzie. You would have laughed yourself out of it sooner. I understand you want to visit the Collinses in their newly married state. You must visit me as well.
As much as taking a Huntsford parsonage, the improvement of spending a night in London made the plan perfect as plan can be. Jane! Look now! I see London is agreeable to you. But Lizzie, come and sit with me. Every pleasure. You look so well.
I confess to have been entirely deceived in Miss Bingham's regard for me, for she is barely visiting me in London, and when she has it was evident she had no pleasure in it at all. In fact, she seemed to have come only to convince me of her brother's interest in Miss Darcy.
All gentlemen are held in my low repute. It is said that Mr. Wickham is now the admirer of a certain Miss Key.
Oh,
Whose most remarkable charm, I might add, seems to be the acquisition through family mortality of £10,000, and it is the least delicate of himself to direct his attentions toward her so soon after this event. You look pale, Elizabeth, are you ill?
a man in distressed circumstances has little time for the elegant decorums which others might observe. If she does not object to it, why should we?
Her not objecting to it does not justify him.
I have a very poor opinion of young men who live in Derbyshire, and their intimate friends who live in Hertfordshire are not much better. I'm sick of them all. Thank heaven I am to go tomorrow to the Collinses parsonage. I shall find a man who has not one agreeable quality, who has neither manner nor sense to recommend him. How stupid men are the only ones with knowing after all.
Bravo! You must accompany Mr. Gardner and myself on a tour of pleasure this summer, for we shall avoid the sex altogether and regard the landscape.
My dear, and what delight, what felicity! You give me fresh life and vigour, and teach disappointment and spleen. What a bed to rocks and mountains! Every object in my next day's journey was new and interesting. The chase comfortable, the weather delightful, and all conspired for the pleasure of the traveller. At length, the parsonage was discernible, and Mr. Collins and Charlotte appeared at the gate.
Welcome again. Come in. You must be wearied and jostled.
I have news of Lady Catherine's genuine delicacy and consideration in that. I would invite us to dine at Rosing the following evening. But one, do not make yourself uneasy to her, for she will not think less of you for being simply perhaps.
To my great surprise, Mr. Darcy will be in attendance, along with him the Colonel Fitzwilliam, the youngest of us uncle.
It is my pleasure in introducing the Right Honourable Lady Catherine Liver, whose wit and condescension make her the most admired ornament of.
Yes, Miss Carter. You are, I believe, Elizabeth Bennett.
I am.
Your father's estate is entitled Mr. Collins. For your sake, I am glad. Otherwise, I see no case of struggling to be no for work, Mr. Collins.
Miss Bennett, I had not hoped to meet you here.
Nor I.
Allow me to present Colonel Fitzwilliam.
Your beauty, oft-reported, exceeds Miss Bennett.
This is not untrue, Colonel Fitzwilliam, in all quarters.
Miss Bennett, your family.
My family?
How many sisters have you, Miss Bennett?
I have 4 sisters.
Quite a great many. Are you the eldest?
I am the second.
What? None of you? That's very strange. Has your governess left you?
We never had a governess.
Oh. No governess. 5 bolted cross on a hill, no governess. I never heard of such a thing. Your mother must have been quite slated to her education.
Not perhaps as you might think.
Then who told you? Who attended you?
Such of us as wished to learn never wanted the means. We were always encouraged to read and books were always provided. Those who chose to be idle certainly might.
No doubt. But that is what your governess would prevent. Had I known your mother, I would have advised her most strenuously to engage one. Are any of your younger sisters out?
Yes, ma'am, all.
All 5 out at once. Very odd. The younger one's out and the eldest are married.
But really, ma'am, I think it would be very hard on the younger sisters to not have their share of society engagement, because the elder may not have the means or inclination to marry early.
Upon my word, you give your opinion very decidedly to so young a person. Pray, what is your age?
With 3 younger sisters grown up, your age you can hardly expect me to own it.
What is that to say? What are you telling her?
We are speaking of music, madam.
Of music. Then pray speak aloud.
I am reminding Miss Bennett of her earlier promise to favour us at the pianoforte.
Yes. Pray excuse me. I fear you'll not find me very proficient. Pray continue your conversation rather than attend me.
I often tell young ladies that no excellence in music is to be acquired without constant practice.
You need to frighten me, Mr. Darcy, but my courage always rises with every attempt to intimidate me.
You could not really believe me to entertain any design of alarming you. I have had the pleasure of your acquaintance for long enough to know that you find great enjoyment in occasionally expressing opinions which are in fact not your own.
Your cousin will give you a very pretty notion of me, and you do not believe a word I say. Take care, sir. You are provoking me to retaliate, and such things may come out as will shock the relations to hear.
I am not afraid of you.
Pray, let me hear what you're accusing of. I should quite like to know how terrible you behave towards strangers.
You shall hear him, but prepare for something very dreadful. The first time I've ever married him was at a ball, and he refused to dance. And more than one young lady was sitting down in want of a partner.
I had not, at the time, the honour of knowing any of the ladies in the assembly, and I am ill qualified to recommend myself to strangers.
Shall we ask him why a man of sense and education, who has lived in the world, is ill qualified to recommend himself to strangers?
I have not the talent of conversing easily with those I've never seen before.
Fortunately for all present, that is not the case here. Strangely and unexpectedly, after our delightful evening at Lady Catherine de Bourgh's, the 2 cousins came off to them and asked to meet to the parsonage. It was plain that the 2 ladies came because he enjoyed Charlotte's my society. But why Mr. Darcy came so often was rather difficult to understand.
If you would not laugh me to scorn, my dear, shall I
stuff. I'm going for a ramble in the park.
It is a circumstance which Darcy, of course, cannot wish to be generally known. Because if we get down with the lady's family, it would be an unpleasant thing.
You may, of course, depend on why not mentioning it.
He told me merely that he congratulated himself on having lately saved a friend from the inconveniences of a most imprudent marriage. And I only suspected it to be merely as his open nature might get him into a scrape of that sort.
Please pardon me, but I do not see what right Mr. Darcy had to decide on the propriety of a friend's inclination.
As I recall, there were some very strong objections to the lady's family. I believe one was a country attorney, and another with a sort of mercantile background. Perhaps an unsuitable mother. But this is all conjecture. Good day to you, Miss Bennett.
To Jane, there could be no objection. What loveliness and goodness as she is. Nor could anything be urged against my father, who, though some peculiarities, has abilities even Mr. Darcy himself need not disdain. Of course, there is my mother. But Mr. Darcy would receive a deeper wound from the want of importance from his friend's connections than from their want of sense. He has been governed by this worst kind of pride, and partly from the wish of retaining Mr. Bingley for his sister.
Miss Bennett,
Mr. Darcy,
may I... Would it be suitable if I inquired of your help?
my help?
As I have not encountered you these past days, I thought I'd come by to inquire of your help.
My help, Mr. Darcy, meets all the usual standards.
Ah.
Yes.
Ah. In vain have I struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. I see I dismay you. I am slow, even dilatory. I should have declared myself at an earlier date. There were, of course, the family obstacles, whose judgment always imposed the inclination. The general sense of social inferiority, of it being a degradation of the line. I could not forget my responsibility to an estate, a way of life, a pride of place, which, given your circumstances, might disinclude you. Thus, the very ardency I described took place against my will and reason, or rather, in opposition to my judgment and character. But the very strength of my attachment has made it impossible for me to conquer my feelings, and I can now only express the hope that these feelings will be rewarded with your acceptance of my hand. There. I've spoken ill of being well, Miss Bennett.
In such cases as this, it is, I believe, the established mode to express a sense of obligation to the sentiments allowed. However, unequally, they may be returned. It is natural that obligation should be felt, and if I could feel gratitude, I would now thank you. But I cannot. I have never desired your good opinion, and you have certainly bestowed it most unwillingly. The feelings which you show me have long prevented the acknowledgement of your regard, can have little difficulty in overcoming it after this explanation.
And this is all the reply I am that the owner expected. I might perhaps wish to be informed why, with such little endeavour at civility, I am thus rejected.
I might as well inquire as to why. With so evident a design of offending and insulting me, you choose to tell me that you lied to me against your will, against your reason, and even against your character. Was this not some excuse for incivility, if I was uncivil? But I have other provocations, you know I have. Do you think anything would have possibly tempted me to accept a man who has been the means of ruining, perhaps forever, the happiness of a beloved sister? You divided Mr. Bingley from Jane, or at least yours was the principal means, involving them both in misery of the acutest kind. Can you deny that you've done it?
I have no wish to deny that I did everything in my power to separate my friend from your sister, or that I rejoice in my success. Towards him I have been kinder than towards myself.
Quite clearly said.
that gentleman's concerned?
Telling his misfortunes and what is
His misfortunes?
and of your infection. You have a healthy advantage, which you must have known were designed for him, and you treat the mention of his misfortunes with contempt.
And this is your opinion of me. I thank you for expressing it so fully. These bitter accusations might have been suppressed if I, with greater policy, flattered you into the belief of my being impelled by unqualified, unalloyed inclination. But disguise of every sort is my abhorrence.
The mode of your declaration has not affected me, Mr. Darcy. You could not have made me the offer of your hand in any way that would have possibly tempted me to accept it. From the very beginning, your arrogance and selfish disdain for the feelings of others have built an immovable dislike. You are, Mr. Darcy, the last man in the world who I can ever be prevailed to marry.
You've said quite enough, madam. I perfectly comprehend your feelings. Please, forgive me for having taken up so much of your time, and accept my best wishes for your health and happiness. I've been wandering in the grove for some time in the hopes of meeting you. Would you do me the honor of reading this letter?
Two offences you last night laid to my charge. First, that I had detached Mr. Bingley from your sister, and the other that I had, in defiance of honour, blasted the prospects of Mr. Wickham.
Ah, Miss Bennett, you are well known in Hertfordshire.
I have not been long in Hertfordshire.
Miss Bennett, will you think me too forward if I were to apply for a second time?
Before I observed my friend's behaviour and perceived his most surprising partially,
Your sister I also watched.
and though her manners were open and engaging, there was no symptom of warm regard or sentiment. She received his attentions, but remained, to my eye, indifferent.
My objections to the marriage were preceded by other causes of repugnance. Your family's want for propriety, betrayed by your mother's manners, your younger sister's forwardness, and even, forgive me, your father's misplaced wit, all confirm my sense.
But I must preserve my friend from a most unhappy connection.
In London, I found his sister's uneasiness,
Has been greatly excited.
and we were alike sensible that no time should be lost in detachment.
Bingley has great natural modesty, with a stronger dependence on my judgment than on his own.
To convince him he had deceived himself was not difficult. On this subject, I have nothing more to say and no apology to offer. With respect to the other, more weighty accusation of my having injured Mr. Wickham, this I will attempt to refute.
In short, his behaviour to me has been scandalous.
My father was not only fond of this young man's society, but hoped the church would be his profession.
And intended to provide for him in it. He would situate him at the family parsonage and provide a legacy of £1,000. On my father's death, Mr. Wickham wrote to inform me that
I resolved not to pursue a church living, but instead to study law, for which the £1,000 provided would be insufficient. I hope you shall not think it unreasonable for me to expect more immediate pecuniary advantage.
the business was soon settled. He resigned all claim to assistance in the church.
And accepted in return £3,000. 3 years later, he applied to me again, having found the law an unprofitable study, and being then again resolved to be ordained.
He assured me his circumstances were
Exceedingly bad.
indeed on both sides. This is only an assertion, and yet every line confuses my belief in Mr. Darcy's influence.
You will hardly blame me for refusing his entreaty. His resentment was so great.
You betray your father's wishes and your own honor, sir!
Every appearance of acquaintance was dropped.
Last summer, he again most painfully intruded on my notice. My sister, Georgiana, from Mr. Whitby's, familiar with myself in mutual guidance, was taken from school out of wish and established in London. Mr. Wickham, by confidence, recommended himself to her.
Ah, Miss Darcy, it is my pleasure to renew your acquaintance.
She was then but 15 and was persuaded to believe herself in love and consented to an elopement.
Fortunately, regarding me as almost a second father, she confessed her plans.
You may imagine what I felt and how I acted.
I wrote to Mr. Wickham in undisguised heat, and he left London immediately and alone. His chief object was unquestionably my sister's fortune of £30,000, and the hope, I think, of revenging himself on me.
Indeed, in this light, his attentions to Miss King seem the consequence of views solely and hatefully mercenary.
This, madame, is a faithful narrative of every event. If your abhorrence of me should make my assertions valueless, I direct you to Colonel Fitzwilliam, also guardian of Georgiana, who is fully aware of every particular described above. I will only add, God bless you.
How humiliating a discovery! Yet how does she humiliation? Had I been love, I could not have been more wretchedly blind. But vanity, that love has been my folly. As to the mentioning of my family in terms so mortifying, my sense of shame is severe, but the charge strikes too forcibly for denial. Their defects, I fear, seem hopeless of remedy. My mother puts herself forward beyond all expectation, while my father does nothing to restrain the uncontrollable giddiness and self-willed carelessness of my younger sisters. Only excepting King Jane, what am I to call them all but ignorant, idle, and vain?
Dearest Lizzie, something has occurred of a most serious and unexpected nature. Colonel Forster has informed us that the GM has run up to Scotland with one of his neighbours, one of his officers. And to confess the truth, Lizzie, it is not Wickham. Worse still, it looks as a marriage between our poor Lydia and Wickham would be.
We are frantic now to be sure that it has even taken place at all, for we have heard that they have not gone to Scotland, but to London!
And there is reason to believe.
They never intended to marry Lydia at all.
And Colonel Forster.
Fears Mr. Wickham is not a man to be trusted!
Father's gone with Colonel Forster to London to try and discover her. What he means to do, I know not.
He shall shoot the scandal to guard! We shall all be ruined!
Adieu. I cannot help earnestly begging you to come as soon as possible.
Oh, where is my aunt? I must find her this moment of business. I cannot be delayed.
Oh, what's the matter?
I have not an instant to lose.
I shall send a servant. You cannot go yourself. A glass of wine, can I give you one?
No.
You are very ill.
I thank you. Only dreadful news. My younger sister has left all her friends, has eloped. It's all under the power of Mr. Wickham. You know him too well to doubt the rest. She's lost forever.
I'm grieved. Shocked. But is it absolutely certain?
Certain. Her father's gone to London, and I am sure Mr. Gardner will assist. But how is it about to be worked on? How are they even to be discovered?
If there is anything,
Enough time.
would to heaven that anything be said or done on my part that could offer consolation to such distress.
We must go at once. I apologize for us to Miss Darcy. Dear me, your company seems to flood the grounds in disarray.
Your pardon?
How very ill Eliza Bennett looked this morning, Mr. Darcy. Why, I never in my life saw anyone so much altered as she is since the winter. She's grown so brown and coarse.
That is perhaps no miraculous consequence of traveling in the summer.
I particularly recollect your saying one night, she a beauty. I should as soon call her mother a wit. But afterward, she seemed to improve on you. I believe you thought her rather pretty at one time.
Yes, but that was only when I first knew her. For now I believe her to be the handsomest woman of my acquaintance.
Oh.
I had not perceived that the regiment was an arbitrary, that Lydia had any partially for Wickham. But she really wanted encouragement to attach herself to anybody. What neglected sentimental this twice such a girl? A family so deranged, a father absent, a mother incapable of exertion. And it is all my fault in knowing what I did of Wickham. I had not the foresight to make that knowledge public. Has anything been heard of the fugitives?
Not yet. Now that my dear uncle has come, I hope all will be well.
Is father in London?
Yes, he went on Tuesday.
If I had been able to make my point and go to Brighton with all the family, this would have never happened! Why did the voices let her out of their mind?
Mother?
Can Mr. Bennett shoot Mr. Wickham wherever he needs him, and I don't know what we shall do!
Huh?
Don't know what we shall do!
Do not give way to you slum. I shall go to London, call my brother, and consult him with his
Lydia wrote saying that if we knew where she was going.
You would not! Oh, the good joke will be when I write to Mama and I sign my name. Lydia Wickham. I hope you all drink to our good journey. It's thoughtless Lydia. But at least it proves that she was serious in the object of her journey. Whatever he might feel persuaded, it was not her side to looking for me. My poor father, how he must have felt it.
Never seen anyone so shocked. You cannot speak a word.
Mr. Bennett shocked. I was taken ill immediately and had to be carried to my room. Twice! Father! Mr. Bennett! My dear Mr. Bennett!
Father, you must have endured.
It has been my own doing, and I ought to feel it.
You must not be too severe upon yourself.
No, Lizzie. Let me once in my life feel how much I have been to blame. Or at least let me defer it till Kitty runs away.
I don't want to run away, Papa. Well, if I should ever go to Brighton, I shall behave far better than Lydia.
Do you suppose then to be in London?
Yes. Where else could they be so well concealed?
Father! From Uncle Gardner in London.
Indeed, I have palpitations!
I have seen them both.
They are not married, nor have I seen any intention of being so. Although I hope it is not long before they are.
That's wrong! See, she's a good girl, not at all!
Mrs. Bennett.
All that is required of you is to ensure that your daughter, by settlement, for a share of £5,000, secured amongst your children after your decease.
And enter into an engagement with Lamaka during your life, £100 per annum.
Can it be possible? Can it be possible you will marry her?
Swerkin was not someone deserving to be thought in.
But the terms, I suppose, must be complied with.
Exactly! You must write on the moment they must be married!
Right, I will. But there are two things I want very much to know first. How much money your uncle has laid out to bring us about, and how am I ever to pay him?
Money? My uncle, whatever do you mean, sir?
No man in his right mind would marry Lydia for 100 a year during my life, and 50 after I am gone. Becomes a fool if he takes her with a farthing less than £10,000.
And Mr. Gardner could pay such a sum.
Indeed he could not, nor I repay it.
You must write them, Mr. Bennett. Inscribe Miss Bennett. Oh, how delightful! She will be married. My dear, kind brother, I want to see Lydia. And dear Wickham, too.
Dear Wickham?
The clothes, the wedding clothes. We must turn to it all. Ring the bell, Kitty. We must need the carriages. Oh, my dear, dear Lydia. We shall all be so merry when we're all together again. Calico, must up, Cameron. I will next it all.
Mr. Gardner wrote that Wickham intended on quitting the militia and would join the regular army under the command of General Trott, who was quartered in the north.
After I was studying, the couple returned to Longbourn.
And the family assembled to receive them.
Congratulate me, sisters.
Good gracious. It has been a great while since I've been here. When I went away, I am sure I had no idea of being married. Though I thought it would be very good fun if I was. Dear Jane, I take your place now. And you must go lower, because I am a married woman. And what do you think of my husband? Is he not a charming man? All my sisters must go to Brighton now, and that is the place to get husbands. Thank you for my share of favour, but I do not particularly like your way of getting husbands. La, you are so strange. But I must tell you how it went off. We were married, you know, at St. Clement's, because Wickham's lodgings were in such parish, and it was said that we were to be married at 11 o'clock. Well, when the carriage arrived at the door, Uncle was called away on business, and I was so frightened that the wedding would have to be put off. But then I remembered that Mr. Darcy would do just as well to give me away. Wickham, you know well. Oh, gracious me! I quite forgot.
neither pleasure nor pain.
If he wants a society, let him seek it. He knows where we live.
But you will wait on him, of course.
I will not spend my spare hours chasing after neighbors every time they go away and come back again.
I'm beginning to worry he's coming at all. I mean, I could see no perfect indifference, but I could barely bear to hear it thus perpetually talked of. No means well, she does not know. No one can know how much I suffer from what she says. I wish I could say anything to comfort me, but it is wholly out of my power.
Mr. Bingley sent to the package running toward the house, Mamma!
You contradict yourself with a smile of expectation.
Let us first see how he behaves, then it will be early enough for expectation.
I do not know.
What? It looks just like that Mr. What's-his-name, that tall
Goodness gracious, Mr. Darcy! I know. Anything Mr. Bingley's welcome him, even though I hate the very sight of him.
Mr. Darcy.
The gentleman were received with tolerable ease in a private theatre, I thought equally free from any symptom of resentment or any unnecessary complacency.
Mr. Bingley, it's been a long while since you last came to town.
Oh yes, far too long in my opinion.
I began to become afraid that you would never come back again.
This is bad.
Lady Lucas is now settled. And one of our own daughters, too, is married yet.
Romantic with the greatest congratulations.
It is such a delight having one of your own daughters married. Mr. Wickham took her with the regiment down to Newcastle, which is far too northward in my estimation.
Excellent shooting this season, eh, Darcy?
Sorry, Mr. Bingley. When you kill some of your own birds, I beg you come and kill ours first. You are a debt to our visit. Mr. Bingley, when you came down last winter, you promised that you would take a family dinner with us, and you see, I have not forgotten. And I became very disappointed when you did not keep your engagement.
He remedied at the first opportunity, hey, Darcy?
You're very silent, Mr. Darcy. Are you feeling well?
Quite well. Very, very well.
And then they went away.
Why, if Darcy came to be silent, grave, and indifferent, did he come at all? Now this first meeting is over, I feel perfectly easy. Obviously, on both sides we met as common and indifferent acquaintance. Jane, take care. What day is he? You cannot be so weak as to be in danger now.
I think you are in very great danger of making him as in love with you as ever.
A man has been once refused. How can I be so foolish to expect a renewal of his love? Is there one among the sex who would not protest against such a weakness as a second proposal to the same woman? There is no indignity so foreign to their feelings.
Mr. Bingley called again on Friday.
Having once set his great happiness, there was nothing on the side of prudence to stop him or make his progress slow.
He called again the following Tuesday.
She was, of course, only too good for him. But his son does not mind having that is too good for them. He was very earnest in the pursuit of the blessing.
And once more Thursday a week.
Something in this, Jane.
It is not possible that encouragement from Jane should be unwanting.
Your point of dislike make it so delightfully absurd.
Lizzie, Mr. Darcy is here expressly to see you.
Miss
Mr. Darcy, I am a selfish creature, and for the sake of giving relief of kindness toward my poor sister. Were it known to the rest of my family, I would not merely have my own gratitude to express.
I'm sorry, exceedingly sorry that you've been informed of what may, in a mistaken light, have given you uneasiness. I did not think Miss Gardiner was so little to be trusted.
You must not blame my aunt. It was Lydia's thoughtlessness that has prevailed over your involvement. Let me thank you again and again.
If you thank me, let it be for yourself alone. Your family owes me nothing. Much as I respect them, I believe I thought only of you. So, indeed, well. You are too generous to trifle with me. If your feelings are as they were last April, you must tell me so at once. My affections and wishes are unchanged, but one word from you would silence me forever.
Mr. Darcy, my feelings have undergone so material a change since the period you allude to, as to make me receive with gratitude. Your
present assurances?
Exactly.
I am.
You are?
I am. Yes, very much so. I believe my aunt has been to see you.
She has.
My feelings, you may know, are exactly contrariwise. I hope you spoke to her quite frankly.
You know enough of my frankness to believe me capable of that. After abusing you so abominably to your face, I have no scruple in abusing you to all your relations.
What did you say to me that I did not deserve? My previous behavior towards you merited the severest reproof. It was unpardonable.
The conduct of either, if strictly examined, is irreproachable. But since then we have both, I hope, improved in civility.
As a child, I was taught what was right, but I was not taught to crack my temper. I was given good principles, but left to follow them only in pride and conceit. By you, I was properly humbled. I came to you with no doubt of my reception, and you showed me how insufficient were my pretensions to please a woman worthy of being pleased.
I am most afraid of asking you what you thought of me when we met at Pemberley. You blamed me for coming.
I felt only the pleasure of surprise. It was my object at the time to show you through every civility in my power that your reproofs had been attended to. How soon other wishes introduced themselves, I can hardly say. But I believe within a half hour of my having seen you.
Other wishes?
Other wishes, yes.
And Mr. Bingley?
On the evening before my going to London, I told him all that had occurred to make my previous interference in his affairs seem absurd and impertinent. I told him, moreover, that I believed myself mistaken in supposing that your sister was indifferent to him. As I could easily perceive that his attachment to her was unabated, I felt no doubt of their happiness together.
Do you speak from your own observations, or merely from my information last spring?
I had narrowly observed her, and I was convinced of her affections.
And what do you narrowly observe in me, Mr. Darcy?
That something, though I'm not sure what, is expected. What have I done?
I sincerely beg your pardon. You've not yet learned to be laughed at. Well, I suppose it's rather too early to begin.
Pray, I must speak to your father.
I have given him my consent. I give it to you too if you reserve to have. But I know your disposition. You can neither be happy nor respectable unless you truly esteem your husband. Your life and talents are placed with the greatest danger of an unequal marriage. You can scarcely escape discredit and misery.
I do esteem him, father. He's grown exceedingly in my estimation. And his own affection is not the work of a day, but has stood the test of many months' suspense. He is the object of my choice.
This is indeed wonders indeed.
Goodness gracious! Lord bless me! Mr. Darcy! Who would have thought? Is this really true? My sweetness, how great and rich you will be! All the jewels and carriages you have! Jane has nothing to it. Nothing to it at all! 3 daughters married! 10,000 a year! Oh my Lord! What has become of me?
Billing's friend and your husband. They can only be yourself and Bingley more dear to me. Go.